Pollinated? There's no way this is an actual pollination. This has to be one that's gonna end up, dying. But
Let's grow a pumpkin to talk about. Pumpkin to talk about. Backyard of your house. Pumpkin to talk about. Growing Brussels sprouts. Growing big. Pumpkin to talk about.
Hello, Albuquerque Gardening. I'm Alan. Today is May 30th. We're at the end of May. June's coming up. Let's get into a plant update.
Alright. So on today's update, we have a better look at the plant. This last week has been very generous as far as temperatures and plant growth goes. This plant is about 5-6 feet long now. Some of the leaves are pretty good size, so we're coming along. It was suggested that I clean up this little bit here, so I chopped off that vine. Got a couple flowers there that are going to open up tomorrow. There's also some vines that are starting to grow off the sides. I think what I'll do is I'll probably go in there and remove this vine, since it's pretty close to the main and there's a much larger vine already growing off of it. So as far as the vines go, things are looking solid. I have started bearing the vines, so look at that, the mist just came on.
I am really happy that I set up that mist system timer and everything, but now I'm going to have to back away from the plant so the camera doesn't get wet.
Look at that, the wind here is just kind of taking most of it, but you get the idea. We'll still get some nice coverage going on. But yeah, anyway, so plant is about 6 feet long. Starting to get some good vines coming out of it on both sides. I have started bearing the vines. It looks a little funky there today because last night we had crazy wind come through, and when I came out here this morning, the plant was kind of rolled to the left a little bit, and the moss, the pro mix that I had put on there was kind of strewn about, if you will. So so I just had to go back in there and rebury some stuff.
Stake things down so they don't roll over. That was a big lesson, Always learning. I thought we had a little more time with the crazy wind affecting the plant at this size, but that's alright. So we adapt, we deal with it, we keep going, because that's what we're here to do. We're trying to grow a big pumpkin and stress about it less this year, because last year the wind was stressing me out. I'm not going to let that happen this year, if I can help it. Now, I say that now, but we'll see what actually happens.
Look at that. The mist just turned off. So it's depressurizing. Currently my timer for that is set to, I think, 2 minutes every 25 minutes or something like that. Some other hotter days I did some shorter cycles of about a minute 30, and I felt like it wasn't doing enough. It wasn't sticking around long enough to have an effect. My plan is I want to have a little bit of moisture on these leaves so that it continues to evaporate off and provide extended cooling. That's my idea anyway. It's so dry here. We do have weeds starting to pop up, as you can tell there. I do go through and pick those. The drip tape is working.
Let's move to the other plant further down. I should mention that I haven't seen a female pumpkin flower on the end of that plant yet. I went looking today, real carefully, opening up the tip of the newly formed flower leaves and kind of looking for any female flowers. Haven't seen any. Seen plenty of males.
But on this plant on the other side of the patch, The leaves are significantly smaller still. Here's my foot for scale. Yeah, so this plant is, much smaller leaves, which makes sense, We have this blocking sunlight in the morning. We have this blocking sunlight basically now. And, yeah. So, past 3 o'clock it doesn't get much actual direct light, so I'm sure that's inhibiting the growth a little bit, but whatever. I have not started burying vines on this one. Probably should at this point. Not really seeing any vine growth on this one yet. I am noticing there's a little bit of yellowing. Seems like something's not happy. Yes, I did see the tip to remove, what is it? This one? Yeah, remove this dead stuff. I just haven't done that yet. I did see that comment that I should do that, and thank you, I will do that. But this is also the plant that I'm not exactly betting on. I'm hoping that plant will really start showing me something special.
So at this stage, we're still pretty early. We're going into June. We're starting to get those 90-degree days a little more regularly. We're going to start really seeing a lot of vine growth this week on the other plant, and I'm sure in a week we'll see a female pumpkin flower. I'm not actually concerned like I'm not going to get one. I would just like to have an early pollination like last year to give me plenty of time, get as many days, as many pounds as we can get going. This year I don't think I'll be taking the pumpkin to the state fair, so I want to get this thing certified. So we might try to get up to Colorado for one of those layoffs in October. That's kind of the tentative plan. And now we can go check out the front yard, Neglect Pumpkin, which is living up to its name.
Okay, wouldn't you believe it? This is crazy. Look at this crappy little plant. Shredded leaves. Just angry, angry plant. Look at that. It's terrible. But somehow, pollinated? There's no way this is an actual pollination. This has to be one that's gonna end up, dying, but it's baffling. It's just like a hilarious sight. Like, look at this plant. Look. Oh! Makes no sense. I do not plan on keeping that on there, obviously. Looking at the tip of this, I keep hoping this is gonna grow out of that burn, it looks like. But I'm also starting to see some new vine growth happening near the base of the plant, so I think I might just give that vine a chop back there and let this start over, because this is my Neglect pumpkin. I'm not worried about this one doing anything. This pumpkin is purely just to see if this front yard is any good for this, and to possibly have something to carve up and put on the porch. Yeah, look at that. We got a little new growth happening from the base. So I think, realistically, the best idea is just to cut there and let this thing try to start over. Because, look at this, we got weeds popping up, so the soil is not exactly terrible. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Anyway, that's the quick and dirty. That's the update of this week. Not much else to really show right now. I'm sure in the next week we'll see a lot of growth. We'll see a lot of changes. I'm sure our emotions will be tested with this plant. But you know what? We're going to get through this together. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't. Let's go.